Hello everyone, my name is Tajii and my handle in-game is BuDDhA. I'm pleased to present to you my round of 16 submission for IPL's caster search, and a huge shout out to IGN for the opportunity for up and coming caster talent to really show their stuff. First game today is going to be here on Cloud Kingdom. It is going to be the ladder version, and it's going to be between EG's Thorzane, spawning at the bottom left as the red Terran player, and at the top right we do have the teal or cyan Zerg player. It's going to be BuDDha's Slivko. Of course, EG's Thorzane, a very well-known player. Been around for a really long time. And Slivko is an up-and-coming player for sure. I don't know actually how many people have heard of him, but he's been making a much better name for himself. I actually recently checked out his Twitter, and he actually has something like 250 followers. So if you enjoy his game, definitely go follow him on Twitter. It's actually the same name that he has here in the game, BuDDha's Slivko. So he definitely could use some more follows. He's an excellent player, making a good name for himself in a number of Dream Hacks and I think a Home Story Cup. But regardless, we are going to have a Terran versus Zerg here, and actually Thorzane not walling off with that first depot and sending a very early scout before that first depot is even done. So we may see, looks like we are going to see a double 11 racks. We are at 11 supply. Going to put that, oh my god, look at the timing on this. He is going to get that first racks down as soon as he gets 150 minerals. And that second one, we'll have to check the timing on that, but this is definitely a really cool move from Thorzane. And oh goodness, this is actually an unusual path for the second Overlord here. We usually see it come down the bottom of the map and across, but it is actually going to have seen this racks here. So that's a little bit unfortunate for Thorzane. A couple of drones are going to be sent down, just two, because there's not a bunker or anything. That third one is going to be coming back, and all he has to do is just keep these from mining. So his hatch does go down. He feels very safe against this, seeing that it's here. And this is not going to be good for Thorzane. He immediately cancels. Definitely the best decision here. And well, since he doesn't have any kind of wall left going, I think he's going to play super greedy and just go for a command center first. Pretty cool play. After this, the Overlord is going to be here in just a second, so Slivko will know about this immediately as soon as his Overlord gets into position here, and he knows his Overlord's safe because obviously there can't be a barracks here. So we'll see when he comes in and decides to scout this. Take a look at the vision here. It is just a little bit out of range, so needs to move it a tad forwards. But we'll see what EG Thorzane's follow-up is to this. Normal follow-ups to a command center first can be one barracks into a gas, two barracks follow-up into two more barracks. Well, there's a number of different variations and stuff, but those are two of the most common. One being, of course, for very fast reactor Hellions, about the same pace as a one racks expand with a double gas follow-up. So we'll have to see. Two barracks do go down for Thorzane, so this follow-up is semi-common. We'll have to see what he walls the rest of this off with when the time comes. In the meantime, Slivko took a very late spawning pool here. It looks like around the 16-17 mark. And in the meantime, he's just droning up. He's just now making his first pair of Zerglings come out onto the map. And as we can see, it's 21 drones to 17 SCVs. So Thorzane actually not that far behind in the economic game. Does not have an orbital yet, of course, because he doesn't have a barracks. So that's going to put him a little bit further behind. But his SCV count is there to match the Zergs, at least a little bit. Double orbital command going to come down for Thorzane in just a second here as he walls off his last slot here with a third barracks. So we definitely could see some biocentric play. Recently, in this past MLG this weekend, actually, we did see a lot of mech play come out off of 4 barracks, kind of to throw the Zerg player off, but also it allows you to put on a little bit of early pressure and really fake your Zerg opponent into, maybe making Banelings or something to delay their tech a lot, slow down that Broodlord tech that mech is so vulnerable to. But Thorzane's still not taking a gas here. He's playing very economically. We're going to have to see whether or not he wants to go for perhaps a third command center before doing any kind of gas tech, or he's just kind of holding off. And of course, putting down any kind of tech labs here wouldn't be too nerve-wracking because obviously Zerglings would have to run into Marines if they were behind the barracks here. But, oh, that's kind of risky. He's actually got all of his Marines on the front side here. Don't think he scouted anything. Yeah, he has no idea whether or not his opponent took a gas early, and if his opponent had taken a gas and gone for a speedling opening, these Marines would be incredibly vulnerable out here. So a little bit risky. Would only be 5 Marines, but that would be the entirety of his defense here. In the meantime, Thorzane still has not taken a gas, and a third command center does drop here. We are at the 6-minute and 15-second mark, so a very fast third command center, especially considering it failed 11-11 was the opening. Not a very economic opening. You do have to not make SCVs for a little bit, and oh man, a fast Well, kind of fast third for Slivko over here. Is going to be denied by Thorzane's Marines, and they did not go to the watchtower that the 2 lings were at. Slivko did not put his second ling at the forward tower here. 1 Marine is going to come forward here to scout as best as he can. 3 queens are going to deny him, and Slivko currently has 4 queens. And sometimes we do see those 6 queen openings, but the 6 queen opening is generally a reaction to something that the Zerg sees. A 4 queen opening is more the standard, and then you make the extra queens if you feel like you need them. A third goes up again and has to get canceled again for Slivko, and that's going to not set him back necessarily that far, but it's really annoying to not be able to get that third base up, and we should see a macro hatch come up for him in just a sec, because he will need that larva. Double Evo and a lair come up with 2 gases, and we should see 1-1 for Zergling start in just a sec at these Evo chambers. In the meantime, yeah, that tech lab out front is going to be a little bit vulnerable, but it won't be too bad because we don't see a lot of aggression coming out of our Zerg player, and there's a healthy Marine count to back this up behind the barracks wall here. Slivko moving out with a number of Zerglings on the map. And Thorzane, in the meantime, going for double eBay about the same time as that double Evo, and adding a factory and a 4th barracks in his main. So we probably are going to see medevacs into tanks, unless he feels that he's at risk, and then he may open tanks. But I don't think, seeing that third go up twice, I don't think he thinks that he's going to be at risk of a huge all-in or attack. So should feel safe going for medevacs to get some of that harassment out before starting that siege tank tech. We'll have to see what he decides to do here, though. He has started 1-1, and our Zerg player has started 1-1 as well. That third base well on its way, about halfway done, and yeah, that macro hatch 3/4 of the way done here. All of the lings are sitting at the third, making sure Thorzane's not playing too greedy here. And we do, in fact, have a tech lab coming down. Okay, so a starport does start with a reactor to get those medevacs out very quickly, but we are going to have fast tanks as well. And Thorzane's gas count a little bit low, but he has taken the 3rd and 4th, so his income is going to be quite good at this point. Looks like he's going to actually have a little bit of a push out here, and this is before a Baneling Nest is done and before an Infestation Pit is done, but a number more lings are on the way as Slivko sees this, and a Zergling run by into the main, gets by the barracks as it tries to land, and actually we could see a lot of mining time harassment here as the Zerglings run up into the main. The Harvesters at the natural do have to run away for quite a while here, and well, we'll check the workers' last tab in just a second as Slivko using some hold position micro as Thorzane runs away. Doesn't really get all that much damage done, but again, this is a lot of lost mining time for our Terran player. And a number of SCVs do go down here, losing all those Zerglings, but the Zerglings aren't all that important. And another round of Zerglings has actually run into the natural and is going to do a little bit more damage, but really that was a solid 30 seconds of Thorzane not really mining at all. Really, really dangerous. But Stim and Combat Shield are about to finish up. Thorzane only at 72 supply, though. So if we take a look at the Harvester's lost tab here, Slivko did kill 9, which is not a terrible number at all. Especially, Thorzane is on that 3rd command center, so he does have the extra SCV production, but it will slow down the mining at his 3rd for at least a little bit here. And Harvester count now 64 to 48. Slivko did drop creep at the 3rd, and if you're looking for a timer number, cleaning up 3rd from an creep from an overlord does take approximately 1 minute, so definitely going to be a little bit of a delay there. It wasn't centered, however, so the creep might last at the bottom left and not in the middle there. Lings and Banelings are on the map. Baneling speed 3/4 of the way done, and there is an infester coming out. It does have pathogen glands, so Slivko should be pretty safe from... Oh my, unless he loses that infester. Oh, that was a little bit of a mistake there, and he crashed one of his Banelings into a tank, but looks like he is going to manage to clean this up. A great surround. And Thorzane's going to lose all of these units on the map for not very much gas from Slivko, so a good hold there. He did make extra lings that he didn't really need to. We'll see if he tries to be aggressive and tries to maybe punish the 3rd base of Thorzane that is up over here. We have 2 more command centers coming down for Thorzane, so he may just want those for mule production. He might have just had some extra minerals, but you know, some extra barracks definitely wouldn't hurt after that giant loss there in the middle of the map. In the meantime, sometimes we do see a really nice bunker come down right here to wall it off from lings, keep lings from getting a really good surround. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that come up in just a sec from Thorzane. That is generally the #1 spot to put a bunker to protect your mineral line. That way hold position micro does have to be used. We'll have to check back on that, but in the meantime, a hive is coming up around the 13-minute mark for Slivko with a spire, so it does look like it's going to be Broodlord tech, as of course those do both line up perfectly with each other in build times. 4th base with 2 gases going down immediately. He really wants that gas income as early as possible. A good move there. And in the meantime, it looks like we have Ling Baneling with 5 more Infestors on the way to support Bruise when the time comes. And with Thorzane playing relatively so passively after losing that army, Slivko is going to have time to get this out. As we can see, the supplies right now 107 to 144. A huge supply lead for Slivko. And a base lead, actually. It looks like we did have a pause in the replay here. But 2-2 is on the way for our Terran player. It is ahead of his Zerg opponent. Our Zerg player really using that gas on those Banelings and Infestors. And he's going to have to save some from here. We'll have to see if he decides to build more Infestors because, of course, a count of 5 is relatively low in this matchup. Normally we see a ton more, but you can get away with 5 with really good control and stuff. So we do have a double drop here. 1 behind the 4th base of Slivko coming down now, and 1 behind the natural. Slivko totally prepared for this at the natural, though. That medevac actually dies full. That's unfortunate. And behind the 4th, this medevac's going to go down as well as a good fungal lands. And, good micro from Thorzane, dropping all of his stuff on both sides. He's going to clean up a couple of drones. Not too much of a loss, though. 4th command center down for Thorzane, not yet making it a planetary, just now starting it. Oh, look at that. And, actually, this is a pretty cool wall off, too. This double supply depot bunker wall. Okay. I could definitely see that working. Walls off the choke here, so that he's got, a couple of choke points going on. Really cool move. Slivko's creep spread, pretty good. Coming down mostly the center of the map. Sometimes we see it, a little better spread out and stuff, but this will definitely help him engage and fight off any engagements from this side. However, most engagements, I do believe, are going to come down this kind of area towards his 4th, so it might be really good to start the creep spread there, especially with the extra queen energy he has here. Marines that were cleaning up didn't get pulled back, do get picked off here. 124 to 183 supply for Slivko, and he is making 7 Broodlords. Not a lot of Viking stuff coming in for Thorzane here. He is making 1-1, but only has 1 Viking in production. Let's take a look at his main. It looks like he has 2 starports. 1 has a reactor, and a 3rd and 4th. They're both making reactors as well, so a ton of Viking production. Really overreacting, knowing he's a little bit late on getting those up. Wants to have the production very, very, very early. And when you do start producing very late, it is very, very smart to go ahead and make the extra production facilities just to make sure you can hold off the initial wave. And then if you want to use them later, you can, but you don't necessarily have to. Good target fire from Thorzane. Shift-clicking those. Oh, not quite enough. As a huge group of Marines goes down, they are going to clean this up. More bases for Slivko. Look at the spread of these all over the place. 3 additional bases. This is really smart against a Terran. It's smarter against a meching Terran because, of course, they can't get all over the place. You just throw spines everywhere, and they have to commit their army somewhere, and you can counterattack. But it's even smart against a player that's going biotank like Thorzane is because, you force them to do drops all over the place. You can defend with spine crawlers and some lings and maybe an infestor at each base if you decide to do so. You don't even need an infestor sometimes, though. Good spines and spores with a high drone count can be enough. And oh my goodness, we have Ravens and Raven Energy started. Corvid Reactor is what that's called. I do not get to say that term enough. But like we said, there's only 1 Tech Lab starport here, unless I'm totally missing one. But it does not look like I am. 4 Vikings and a Raven coming out on the map at a time. This huge, slow army of Broodlords, 8 right now on the field with only 5 Infestors. Is that correct? Yeah, 5 Infestors, 1 more in production. Really low Infestor count from Slivko, but not a high Marine count from our Terran player. Of course, Infestor's very good against the Vikings as well. So Thorzane's going to have to be very careful about splitting those up. But Seeker Missiles, if that is the tech of choice for Thorzane here, you might just be using these for PDD, actually, to help with the Corruptors. But if the tech of choice is Seeker Missile, remember that Seeker Missile does hit ground and air in a giant splash zone, and if the Corruptors, Broodlords, and Infestors are all stacked on top of each other, we could see a huge explosion come down. Is that a 5th starport? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it is. Alright, we're probably going to see a Tech Lab come down on that. 2-2 for air weapons on the way. We very well may see a battle cruiser transition as Thorzane has taken his 5th at the bottom right-hand side of the map, cleaned up the base on the middle right with all of his Marines and medevacs over there. And, wow, yeah, Seeker Missile does come down. Terran building armor, 2 Ghost Academies. This game is going to get nuts in just a few minutes here as Thorzane not maxing out. He definitely can be making units right now, but he wants to be making the right units. He doesn't want to fill his supply up with Marines. As That's not the army he wants. It looks like he's transitioning quite well into Sky Terran here. As we can see, of course, the 2-2 for air weapons is still on the way. Seeker Missile about a quarter of the way done. And 2 Ravens are in production. A huge stim across the map by Thorzane here is going to force Slivko maybe to pull back, but no, a lot of Lings and Banelings are out on the field. Good pickups by Thorzane, saves a lot of those Marines. They are going to get away, and in the meantime, the Vikings came out to poke a little bit. Looks like they didn't get very much done. Thorzane taking the bottom right base. You rarely see Terrans taking bases for gas, typically always for minerals, but his gas income is going to be very important with the style he's trying to play here. Slivko bringing a single queen out to try to spread that creep and keep it all over the map. Continue to maintain vision and map control with those creep tumors. And at the bottom right, oh my goodness, that is a lot of Banelings. They might just right-click on the planetary here. Yeah, using the Lings to lead in, and that base does go down, as well as a number of SCVs. Not a huge number, but a decent count for sure. And that is, you know, 1/3 of the mining basically for Thorzane here, as his natural has basically mined out. Oh, this huge Broodlord army going to be coming over the top of Thorzane's natural. This is a good position to attack from. Now coming into the range of the sensor tower. All of the Corruptors are here. There's actually not a ton of them. There's only 9. Thorzane, meanwhile, has 17 Vikings over on this side of the map. And his Ravens are hiding down here at the bottom right. He does have a couple coming up here. He has 4 on the map right now, 2 more in production, plus 3 air attack and 5 command centers on the production tab here. Oh, Thorzane doing a great job. Basically killing off reinforcements with his Marines as the main assault happens at the front as the Zerg player crashes in here. No real sustain units, you know, no Roaches, no Zerglings, anything like that. Roaches would be weird to see in this matchup, unless Thorzane was going back, but we do have the Broodlords coming in and crashing down on a number of these. Oh! Oh my goodness! Huge EMPs go down on the Infestors, and Thorzane starts picking off the ones with energy. Really, really smart move there, as he is still killing off a lot of stuff in the natural of his opponent. Vikings finally come in as all of the energy on the Infestors is gone. Not enough Corruptors on the map, and oh my goodness. All of the Broodlords dropping ever so quickly. How are these Infestors going to get out of there? I have no idea. These Vikings could even land right now and get a surround on the... Oh, that's exactly what's going to happen. This is a terrible spot. This is so much gas going down in the main of the Zerg player. Overlord's being taken out very quickly. These Marines with 3-3 doing so much damage, having cleaned up the natural already. Oh, man. Zerglings are finally spawning, and Slivko gives out the GG. Oh, my goodness. Thorzane with one of the coolest strategies I have ever seen. Really going, not pure Sky Terran, but making a ton of air units, so he dominates the gas attack coming in from the Zerg player. He can't remax on anything fast enough because he has to get Infestors and Broodlords out. He cuts off the chain of supply, killing all of the reinforcement routes in between the Zerg's main and army, and just absolutely obliterates Slivko's army with that Viking ghost count. That was really cool to see all of those ghosts. EMP the Infestors, wait, sacrifice the natural, we don't need these barracks anymore, and absolutely come in and dominate at the very end there with that high Viking count and no energy left on those Infestors. So what an absolutely fantastic game. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed the cast here today, make sure to follow me on Twitter at BuDDhASC2, and as always, be sure to press the like button below to show your support. Thanks a lot again for watching, and we'll see you next time.